Hello and welcome to today's video, where I'm going to be interviewing the Act Man. Go ahead and say hello and give us an introduction of yourself as well.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and I'm gonna be interviewed today, answering questions, and yeah, the whole jazz. I basically, make videos on video games and try to make them interesting, funny, unique, different, and yeah.
Yeah, Act Man, don't get too ahead of yourself. You're not the one asking questions here.
Well, maybe I'll shoot one back. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you can flip the script on me. So, Act Man, first question for you here is, when did you start YouTube?
So I started doing videos in like 2015, or a little bit when 2015 started. I decided to take a video production class at my college, and I just started messing around with videos and thought it was cool and thought it was neat how people could make videos and make money off of them. And I always enjoyed watching people on YouTube, so that's kind of what inspired me to start, just testing the waters. And so I started pretty much, my first video is like June 2016 or 2015, I think. And so that's kind of when I started actually posting stuff. But I didn't start taking it seriously until about a year later after that.
Right. And why did you start YouTube, Act Man? What got you into it?
Well, like I said, I always was interested in, people like Angry Joe, the Nostalgia Critic, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Red Letter Media, I Hate Everything, Chris Reagan, just all these different guys that I just loved watching and seeing what they built and how they had this sort of community and these inside jokes amongst their fans, and all this stuff just, made me want to share my thoughts and opinions. But what was the catalyst is it was actually MCC, because I was so fucking hyped for that game like no other. I was on the fence about buying an Xbox One until that was announced, and then the day after MCC was announced, I bought an Xbox One, 3 extra controllers, renewed my subscription for Xbox Live, was fucking ready and pumped to go, and when it came out, I was just crushed. And I was so crushed that I had to share that misery, that just like bamboozled feeling I had with the world, and I wanted to make a super epic run-through of MCC and every part of it that sucked, but it became too big of a video for me at the time, and I moved on to other things. But that was what inspired me, was all these other content creators, and MCC was the catalyst that actually made me start working on things.
Essentially, like when MCC came out, your erection was just like crushed.
Yeah, it was smushed into the ground and bent in all sorts of different directions and pretty much snapped off.
Oh god, that doesn't sound too pleasant.
Well, if you were a Halo fan at the time, you probably went through the same thing.
Yeah, I've never really been too big on Halo.
But if you were, oof.
Oh yeah, no, if I were, I'd probably want to kill myself after playing the MCC.
Yeah, at least when it first came out.
I mean, I did play it when I had an Xbox One, and I thought it was fine, but that's probably because I had no prior Halo knowledge.
I mean, the campaigns were fine for the most part, but just not being able to play multiplayer was not good.
I think I was able to play multiplayer with my friend.
Just not consistently whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't remember how much we played. I think a little bit here and there. And then I sold my Xbox One, and then I've never touched a Halo game since.
Boy, you got some catching up to do.
Yeah, I know you're probably like really hard for Halo Infinite, Act Man.
Pretty hard for it. Posted a new video today. Yeah. The time this was recorded. Go check it out.
That was a good plug, Act Man. I like that. Yeah, I mean, the video might be like a week old or so by then when this is up, but we'll see. But yeah, good chill, Act Man. I will be sure to watch it. Because I have not watched it yet. And next question for you here, Act Man, is any channels before this one, or is this your first ever YouTube channel?
Yeah, this is my first ever YouTube, so prior to like 2015, I had no experience making videos or really putting anything together in terms of editing. So yeah, this is my first go at it.
Oh, neat. Okay, well, I mean, first go, pretty successful.
Yeah, it took blood, sweat, and tears, but here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it was all worth it in the end. Yeah, I mean, this is my 3rd attempt.
Well, sometimes luck plays a big part. it takes a while to get your foot in the door, and that usually happens based on luck. Because when you don't have any subscribers, you don't have anyone that can tune in. So you got to share videos with your friends, your family, if they're into that stuff, and on forums, which is what I did. If you were going to ask how I got into YouTube, or how I kind of got my foot through the door, that's what I'd say.
I didn't have that question written down, but that's nice to know. Yeah, I mean, I know some people like post their videos on like subreddits and stuff. I used to do it when I made gaming videos.
Yeah, that's how I got my first 1,000 subscribers plus, was posting to the Halo subreddit, and it was good content, so they ate it up and they liked it.
Yeah, when I started Champy, I used to make Cuphead, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I made videos on that game and I posted it to the subreddit, and they actually performed pretty well, a few thousand views. And then I had one blow up that got like 80k views.
Nice.
Yeah, that was mental for me, because I'm really not used to getting that many views on my videos.
Yeah, and once you get a taste for it, that's when the hunger begins.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously for someone like you, a ton of views is natural, but for me, obviously, it isn't. So that was really cool to see, but that was because the video got into recommended sections somehow. I still don't know how. I wish I could know how, because I'd like every video of mine to go into recommended sections.
YouTube keeps the hidden algorithm locked away in a safe underground surrounded by lava, fire-breathing dragons, and the Capra demon from Dark Souls. So I don't think anyone's going to be busting in there to uncover the hidden algorithms of YouTube.
I mean, I've got the guts, man. I could go in there and slay those beasts.
Yeah, but as soon as you open the door, the Capra demon's there, so no go.
Yeah, that's true. It's just suicide, essentially. And the next question for you here, Axeman, is why'd you name the channel The Axeman when it has nothing to do with acting?
Well, it has a little bit of acting in it from time to time. A little bit.
Yeah, but like, it's mainly a gaming channel.
Yeah. But, elements of hyperbole and, angry or sadness or super happy. I don't know. It's a bit of an act, you could say. But, the name comes from my last name, which is Van Act. Although it's not spelled like act, but we originally, me and my two brothers were talking about, like, making a channel and just making fun of shitty movies and stuff. Kind of, again, going back to those content creators I mentioned, because they were doing that, and we always found that funny as hell. And so we just had this idea of, well, what would we call it? And I was like, how about The Act Men? And long story short, my second brother lives out in Spokane, so he, we only see him every now and then. And then my other brother was busy with school, so it was up to me, and so I just changed it from The Act Men to The Act Man.
I get you. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because, when I first...
Secrets revealed.
Yeah, Actman's secrets revealed. His deepest, darkest secrets.
The history of my YouTube channel.
Yeah, because when I first stumbled upon your channel, I was like, what the hell? Why is the name Actman? There's no acting, it's just gaming. I could understand the gaming man, as, stupid as that name sounds.
Yeah, that sounds lame, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really dumb.
The Act Man was just, it's part of my last name and it's snappy, and maybe I'll do some acting here and there, who knows. That was kind of my thought initially.
I'm sure you could make some cool skits, Act Man.
Yeah, problem is I suck with the camera and I'm better at editing, so... That's why my skits are usually, bad. Well, not bad, but, just poorly, they're still funny, I think. I think if you enjoy them, and that's part of the charm, is it's just one guy who's putting it all together, and he doesn't have that's the charm of YouTube in general, too, is just knowing there's one guy behind it, and it's not a big studio, and so it doesn't look like a big studio production, and it's just this kind of shitty skit, that someone put a lot of effort into, and that's kind of what makes those little skits enjoyable to me, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really cool for YouTube, that it's a one-man show, typically.
Yeah, for a lot of channels. And you don't expect, a huge anime crossover when you click on a YouTube video, right?
Yeah, top 10 anime crossovers on YouTube.com. Watch Mojo should make that video. And your profile picture, Act-Man, is that supposed to be you in real life?
Yeah, well, it was a picture I took because I didn't know what the fuck to put for the profile picture. So I just, hey, I'll do this. I'll just hold a gun up or something. And I took that picture, and like the lighting was super yellow. And I have the original picture, but yeah, it was just a picture I took and put up. And then, I wanted to get some good art, so I talked to Wang Time, and he actually, made it look good. And so yeah, it is me. It's
Yeah, when I look up the Act-Man, there's a video that pops up called Answering Your Awesome Questions, Act-Man Q&A, June 2016. And yeah, that's you with the sunglasses and the gun, I guess. I didn't even know that was a gun like you were making with your hands. I didn't know what it was.
It's whatever you want it to be, man. It's whatever you want it to be.
Whatever I want it to be, then I don't know. I don't know what I could think of that being, to be honest with you.
Well, give it some time.
Yeah, I'll thoroughly observe that picture till I can come up with something.
Yeah, it's like modern art, you just keep staring at it and something will come.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It truly is like the new Mona Lisa. Like if Da Vinci was still alive today and he painted you, oh my god. Be beautiful.
I think it surpasses Da Vinci, but that's just me.
Da Vinci's not good enough to, portray your beauty onto a painting. I'm sure whoever made your profile picture is, though.
Yeah, Wang Time, he's great.
Wang Time?
Yeah, if you need art, hit up Wang Time or Pixel Flare GFX, as he changed his name.
Let me look this person up. Pixel Flare GFX.
Yeah,
I found them.
What about the interview here? You gonna leave it hanging?
No, I'm not. I'm just looking, Act-Man. I'm just curious. I'm sorry. The games that you feature in your banner, because you feature a few different characters in your banner. What are the games? I know most of them, but for anyone that doesn't know, where are the characters from? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked because for the most part, the characters in the banner have very mild appearances in my videos from time to time. And I do want to add some more in there. Again, Wang Time made that for me. So for whatever reason, I wanted Locke to have a cowboy hat just to make him look more interesting than what he normally looks like. I don't know, the kind of Texas Ranger sort of thing. I think Locke could pull that off. And then you've got the pilot from Titanfall 2. God, I can't remember his name. Jack something. It was Jack something. Of course, Master Chief, and then there's Banjo-Kazooie, and that's Scorch from Republic Commando, Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 4, Conker from the Conker games, Phoenix Wright, and then Paper Mario. So, yeah, they're all characters that I think really impacted me, and stories that I really enjoyed. Kind of ones I place on a high pedestal in my, list of favorite games or most liked games. So that's why I chose those characters, because they all kind of represent, Conker is it's a very foul, in a good way, series of games, right? It's very, very foul and for mature audiences. Leon, Resident Evil's horror, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney is, detective game, lawyer game. Story. So they all kind of represent different aspects of gaming that I most enjoy.
Yeah, I thought it was meant to kind of maybe represent what your favorite games are, or something about your personality or the channel.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of it too. A little bit of everything is what I like, and they're all unique characters from their own unique stories and settings, and yeah, that's why I chose those.
And Act-Man, next question for you here is, when is the next episode of the ASO podcast going to come out, Act-Man? We're waiting.
Well, see, I don't really know, because Favin's been busy. He's got a full-time job and a soon-to-be wife, Reykjavik, Hidden Xperia, we're all,
Reykjavik.
Yeah, Reykjavik, or Reykjavik, Gaysavik, whatever you want to call him. I say Reykjavik because it's cool, but we're all kind of doing our own thing and focusing on our channel. So I don't know, it wasn't a top priority for me. It was more something to do for fun. And, I don't know if or when it'll return, but we have been talking about doing something to cover E3. And if we did do that podcast, then we'd probably come out with it, in the next week or so, hopefully, if we can get everyone together, because I'm not going to do it without Fabian. All right?
Yeah, without Fabian. He's a key element to the podcast.
He's the underdog.
Since you did some shilling out earlier, Axeman, I'm going to do some shilling out as well. Fabian is actually going to come on here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Tomorrow, from the time of recording this, which is June 16th.
Yeah, get him on here, babe.
Yeah, I'll link that interview down below, because this interview will probably come out after that one, so you can go watch that. Whoever's watching, yeah, please, thanks.
I shall. I'll watch it too.
Yeah, it'll be live tomorrow, Actman. So maybe I can toss you a link.
Ooh. Nice.
And I would assume that's the reason that there's such large gaps between each episode. You guys are just all doing your things.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not like a huge commitment for all of us. Maybe if it was its own channel, but back when we started it, we weren't all that big. I mean, Ray was kind of skyrocketing up, and the rest of us were, Fabian was still a little bit down, but the rest of us were kind of even. And so because it's posted on my channel, it's not a huge priority for everyone else. And so I kind of have to make the call. And so if I feel it's right or if I don't, then, that decides if we keep doing them or whatnot. I am surprised at how many people actually enjoy the podcast. I guess that's the hardcore fans.
I mean, I like the episodes where you guys have guests.
Yeah, we like to do a guest with every episode or what have you.
Yeah, I liked the one with Chris Reagan.
IHE was pretty great too.
Yeah, he was good too. Yeah, but I think I like the Chris Reagan one more. I think it was funnier than the I Hate Everything one. Yeah.
Well, they're all funny to a certain degree.
What I wanted to ask is, is there any particular reason that it's only on your channel?
No, not really. I just, hit these guys up because, we started it a while ago, but just are pretty spare on the episodes throughout, and that's because I didn't really want to bog down the main content of the channel with a bunch of podcasts, right? So that was always an issue, and I wanted the podcast to do good, so what I would try to do is upload a good video before the podcast so that people are checking that out, and then a couple days later upload the podcast so that maybe YouTube decides to recommend that podcast more or whatever. Sorry, what was the question? I kind of went off. Oh, why is it posted on my channel? Just because I came up with the idea. It was like, hey, I don't want to start a new channel just for this. I'll just post it on my channel.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I totally get that. Yeah, I mean, Ray Civic would have came up with it, obviously it would go on his channel, and if Fabian came up with it, it would be on his channel, and so on. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, unless we all wanted to just do it as its own channel. Which we could have done, but that's hindsight for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that would be the most ideal thing, to just make a channel called the All Skulls on podcast.
Yeah. Problem is now you have to maintain that channel along with what you're already doing, and that's tough enough as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess you could make the podcast I don't know, a monthly thing or something like that, so people don't get their hopes up too much, I guess.
Yeah, I do apologize for that, though, not being super consistent. But what can you do?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm not too upset about it. I mean, I enjoy the episodes and all, but it's not like I'm desperate to see an All Skulls on podcast episode. And what's with that name?
I don't know. We were just tossing around ideas and thought All Skulls On sounded cool.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a biker gang, except this is a gamer gang.
And we're not nearly as badass.
Yeah, you guys are lame compared to bikers.
We could kick their ass in any video game.
That's true, but can you kick their asses in real life?
It kind of depends.
Yeah, if you've got a little weakling of a biker, you could easily kill him, but then you've got some really big buff guy that could kill you, I'm sure. And Actman, I saw you made a community tab post a few months back talking about a video that helped you reach 1K subs pretty fast. And do you think if you wouldn't have posted the video, I think it was titled, "Why Halo 5's UI is so bad," something like that. Do you think if you wouldn't have posted that video, you would have hit 1K subs as fast as you did?
Well, it's hard to say, right? Because in the time I had gotten 96 subscribers, that was about 4 or 5 plus times as long as the gap between 96 and 1,000. So, you don't know what would have happened if you hadn't posted it or that sort of thing. Maybe I would have come up with something else that got my foot in the door, but that was the thing that a lot of the Halo subreddit was talking about, and nobody had really made a concise video, detailing these problems and, compiling it. And so I thought, well, why don't I just do that and throw it out there?
Yeah, that's what I tend to notice. Like, if you're like one of the first people to make a video on something that no one has made a video on, it tends to do really well.
Yeah, even if it's a super niche thing like Halo 5's user interface. I guess a lot of people were bugged by it too.
One of the videos that I made on Cuphead was like the bosses that weren't used in the final game, and it wasn't an oversaturated kind of video. So I think that might have helped it take off as much as it did.
Yeah, I mean, that's going into like cut content, so stuff most people wouldn't even see or know about if they just played the game.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, like this interview thing that I'm doing now, it's not a thing that you see many people on YouTube doing. So I think that is good because, it's not an oversaturated market. Like, not to like offend you or anything, but like gaming videos are pretty oversaturated.
Yeah, but there's a pretty big difference between just like your generic, "What's up, everybody? It's AliA here. Gonna play some Fortnite." There's a pretty big distinction between that and like someone who's doing an in-depth review, or like funny gaming moments. I don't know. AliA is kind of like the poster child for generic, kind of shitty clickbait content. I got nothing against the guy personally, but he's just like the perfect example of the oversaturated side of gaming on YouTube.
Yeah, AliA, bad YouTuber. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you do gaming videos, but you're kind of like in a more specific category of gaming videos, I guess. Like you mentioned, AliA is kind of like a stereotypical, I don't know, Let's Player. I don't think he's a Let's Player.
Just everything you think of when you think of cliche gaming content on YouTube, you think of AliA. Is basically what he is.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, my mind, when I hear cliche gaming content, goes to more like Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie a few years ago, or even Markiplier.
Well, I mean, those guys only became... I wouldn't even say they're generic. It's just that what they were doing was working so well that everyone started copying it. That's why, you might think they're generic, but that's simply because everyone else wanted to copy them. Kind of carve a niche out. I guess that's kind of what everyone has to do on YouTube. Find out what works through trial and error, and figure out what your audience wants to see and what you think will do well. And I kind of like the game critique type of video where you can either look at something and explain why it's really, really bad, why parts of it might be good, or why a game is really, really good. And that's kind of why I have the awesome and bad style of reviews. I mean, they're kind of the same style, but just a different title. And just try to encapsulate the feelings that people like me felt with certain games. That's kind of what I've been going for. So that what happened to League of Legends video, it's not so much for new players who are just getting into the game, who wouldn't understand Kassadin mobility in 2011, right? Like, who would know about that? Except people that played back then. And so that whole video was about this sort of transition of League of Legends to a game that's really unrecognizable to a lot of people who played it back in the day. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at. And I think what you're talking about as well is that more niche, specific type of content.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it would be hard to grow in, like, let's say doing your stereotypical let's play, like I mentioned, like a Jacksepticeye style let's play. You know, you've got the face cam in the bottom left corner, not bottom left corner, top left corner, fuck me. And then, I don't know, you're playing a very oversaturated game at the time, let's say Fortnite now. Like, it's gonna be hard for you to grow doing that. But if you kind of go more in depth into the gaming field, like what you do, let's say gaming reviews, or something like what Lucas or Racevic does, which is, you know, gaming video essays or anything like that. It's more in depth. It's not just like, you know, surface level gaming content, I guess. And I think it'd be much easier to grow in something like what you do or what Racevic does than what maybe Jacksepticeye does.
On the flip side, these videos take a lot more time to produce, and therefore the investment into them is much greater than just your typical, "What's up, lads? This is my first recording here. I'm AliA over here playing Fortnite. Just gonna bullshit the whole 10-minute video, plug the merch, and put 7 monetized ads in the middle." And then just go off in one take like that. I mean, that's, you know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like 10 times easier to make.
For the most part. You still have to be entertaining if you're a good, like, let's player.
A few years ago, I found Jacksepticeye entertaining, but now I see him as a spastic screaming at a camera, you know? Like I mentioned, I don't see many people doing interviews on YouTube, so, you know, I could definitely see myself growing. I'd try to go for something that wasn't oversaturated to hell.
Yeah, and you also got to have the talent level, too, of improving and being able to put together a good video, and all this stuff is, it's hard to carve a niche out on YouTube. It's definitely hard.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not an easy task to grow on YouTube. It's very, very tough. I mean, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people have the dream of becoming, you know, a full-time YouTuber or whatnot. But, you know, it's definitely not easy getting there at all.
Yeah. Well, like anything worthwhile in life, if it wasn't hard, then everyone would do it and everyone would have it.
Exactly. Yeah, you put it greatly. Like, I mean, you know, you have to work your ass off for whatever you want in life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because like you said, you know, if it was a piece of cake, everyone would be a full-time YouTuber, you know? But I mean, you know, if you never work towards it, you're never going to know if it's going to happen to you or not.
You got to have enough effort, and it's got to be something you actually want. At first, it starts off fun, you know, and then you see if it goes anywhere, it does anything, and that's kind of the hope. You don't put a huge investment into it right off the bat.
I mean, like myself, I remember when I started YouTube like 5 years ago, not doing interviews, of course. This is really new to me still. I would do Minecraft Let's Plays on a shitty HP laptop with, I don't know if you know the software Camtasia.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a screen recorder / editor, and I would record with that at like 2 frames per second, and it was just the worst content out there.
It was a cringe fest.
Yeah, a real cringe fest, but that channel's long gone. Rest in peace. I deleted it like 2 years ago already. And then I did exposing videos for a period of time, and that was just the worst decision in my whole YouTube quote-unquote career. And now I do this shit, and this shit seems to be kind of paying off. Slowly but surely.
Yeah, better than drama videos.
Yeah, it's definitely much more productive, much more healthy and positive, because the exposing videos were just like so negative, and like the comments were a cesspool, and I never wanted to read them, and it was just awful all around. But yeah, Actman, next question for you here is, so you've got a second channel, and it's called Actman TV, if I'm not mistaken. You mainly make Halo videos on there, and besides just like mainly producing Halo content on there, would there be like any other game that you would consider, like, I don't know if dedicating is the right word, but
posting or talking about playing? Yeah, the thing is, I've always put the main channel, you know, like 95% of my effort goes to that, because the videos I do, as we were talking about, they take a lot more time than simple Let's Play. And even those legendary no deaths videos that I make on the second channel for Combat Evolved and Halo 2, you know, those take some time too, because, you know, I still have to edit them, and I don't want to just upload an hour and a half video. I want to cut that down, right? And that's kind of the difference between more quality Let's Plays, quote unquote quality, is you know, cutting out the garbage so that it's you know, not just a stream of an hour and a half, you know, and all the garbage is left in there too. To answer the actual question, yeah, so it takes me a while to do the legendary no deaths missions. Also because it's daunting, and it's a daunting challenge, but I'm pretty much down to cover anything else on that channel after that. Yeah, we'll just see where the winds take me.
Would you ever consider becoming more active on the second channel? Or, I mean, I understand you might not be able to since you're so focused on the main channel, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be more active there. So, you know, after this interview, I'm probably going to put together the Sacred Icon mission. Of course, you wouldn't know that because you never played Halo 2.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what you're talking about. That's just gibberish to me.
Yeah, Sacred Icon. It's a hard level. And trying to go through Halo 2 Legendary No Deaths is... it's basically retarded, is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with anything Halo-related. Like I said,
be glad that you aren't playing Halo 2 on Legendary as your first Halo experience.
Like I said earlier, the only thing Halo that I've played is the Master Chief Collection.
Well, you should try them. You should definitely try them. If you haven't beat the first game, you're not a real gamer. I mean, you are, but you got to play the first game.
Yeah, I'm an epic gamer act, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have a console or anything like that to play Halo on, so what can I play Halo on?
You can play it on PC.
Really?
Yeah, custom edition.
Where can I get Halo on PC?
I'm pretty sure there's free downloads for the custom edition. Keys floating around. You don't have an original Xbox? Just buy an original Xbox for like $30 and Combat Evolved for like $5, and boom, you're good.
Epic gaming setup.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what it's priced at nowadays.
Probably, maybe like $5 the console.
Well, but not that cheap.
Yeah, I'd have to look on like eBay, I guess. I see like, because I have Ray Civic as a Discord contact, and I see him occasionally like playing this thing called El Dorito, I think is what it's called.
Yep, that's Halo Online. So like a PC... Well, there's a long story about that, but it's basically Halo 3 on PC unofficially, which was never an actual thing that was legitimately released, and so a bunch of modders were tired of not having any sort of Halo game to play on PC, that they decided, well, we're going to take these assets from this project Microsoft was working on and finish it and put it out there for free. The abbreviated story.
Okay, I get you. It's just Halo Online. It's not like single player or anything like that.
No, but there's a lot of things that are special about it from classic Halo 3. Any more questions for you, boy?
Yeah, the viewer questions we got on Twitter, and I'm here on the tweet, and let me see if we've got any sexy ones here. This one actually has the word sexy in it, and I was curious about it too, Actman. And this is from Motus The. And they're asking, why is his voice so goddamn sexy? Yeah, Actman, why is your voice so sexy? Tell me.
I don't know, dude. I just speak with words, and that's it.
Because, I mean, I'm 16 and my voice is not very sexy.
Well, you know, maybe if you got a throat lozenge.
A throat lozenge?
Yeah. Cough drop.
A cough drop.
You need to widen that vocabulary, kid.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Actman. Got a really basic bitch vocab. I apologize that I'm not at your IQ level.
That's okay.
How high is your IQ, Actman?
54 is, you know, it's pretty high.
54? That's not too high, Actman.
I haven't ever taken an IQ test.
I've taken the shitty ones online.
Yeah, I read something about it, and it's like, the reason the IQ tests online are kind of bullshit, or probably most of them. I know this is completely unrelated to the interview, but who would like a website that told them they were dumb?
That's true, no one.
Exactly. So I don't really bother about it. I mean, IQ's it's just kind of a made-up thing.
I mean, like, yeah, like, the one that I took was just a bunch of, like, puzzles that I had to solve, and I'm like, really? Is this how they test people's IQs? Fuck out of here.
I don't know that you can exactly measure brain power. There's such a thing as abstract concepts. What's my abstract IQ, huh? Tell me my abstract IQ for the abstract portion of my brain.
Abstract IQ. This one's a nice memey one from TobeZen97. And he's asking, how can he look at his Twitter profile picture every day without dying of cringe seeing the OK emoji?
That's not even an emoji. It's just me doing the OK sign. That is pretty funny, though. I read that one. Die of cringe. I don't know. I look happy. It's a good picture.
Yeah, you're smiling. You look really happy with life. Yeah, and like you've got that nice like glare on your teeth. It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, did Wang Man or Pixel Flare GFX make that one?
Nope. There was another guy who did it.
Oh, okay. Who is it, Ackman? Do you care to tell me?
I'd have to go through my Facebook messages.
This one's from Joe42451386. Jesus Christ, so many numbers in that name. Tone it down, Joe. Tone it down. Fuck's sake. And he's asking, what specific editing tool does the Ackman use for editing his videos? And how long does it usually take to edit a video?
Pretty simple answer to that question. I use Premiere Pro CC because when I was taking the video editing classes, we were using that. So I was just like, well, I'll use this if I do YouTube videos. There's no real specific timeline of how long a video is going to take. I don't really keep track of that because, you know, I'd have to keep track of how much time I spend doing research and writing the script and editing and downloading videos and recording gameplay. So I don't really keep track of that time, but you know, I'd say most of them take anywhere from 6 to 30 hours. I don't know. Some of the bigger ones. The War Against Video Games took a shit long time. That was probably like 72 hours, something like that. But also part of that plays into efficient editing techniques. And for a long time, I didn't use the most efficient or more efficient ways of cutting and doing all that. So yeah, takes some time.
And well, the last viewer question here, Ackman, is from Will. Or his @ is fat_owl, and that's PHAT, not FAAT. And he's asking, will he ever bring back games that need a sequel?
Yeah. You know, there's always something that pops up that takes my attention away from, you know, whatever people are asking for and what I'm currently working on. I do want to go back and make another video in that series. At first I was turned off because the initial video I didn't do as well, but as time went on, it started getting quite a few views, and I think it's in a pretty good spot now. So yeah, and even that other games that need a sequel video didn't do half bad, so I'll certainly bring it back, but no telling when.
All right, then, Ackman. Well, that's it for the viewer questions. Thanks for everyone that asked one. I'm sorry if your question didn't get in. Please don't sue me. My lawyer will come after you.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. Ask better questions.
Yeah, the questions were... If your question didn't make it in, it was inferior. I only have one last question written down for you here, Ackman, and then that'll be it for the interview. So with your channel this year, what new and different things do you plan on doing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe you should ask that at the start. Oh, that's kind of a good final question.
What? Why would I ask that at the start, Ackman?
I don't know, but that's a good question.
It sounds like a good question to like conclude on.
Yeah, it is. It's both new and interesting things. I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow. It depends on the project and what I want to achieve with it. And if I want to do something special, then that's when I try something new, whether it be like recreating the Halo 3 Believe ad with my own video games. I felt that was something I really wanted to do, and so I did that as a new and interesting sort of thing or style of intro. Yeah, I don't know, nothing really specific, but just keep your eyes peeled and we'll see.
Like Will said, bring back games that need a sequel.
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah, you know, one nice banger of All Skulls on podcast would be great too.
Yeah, maybe one bang on podcast. We'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, besides that, Hackman, that's it for the interview. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
You got it, broski.
Yeah, and well, that's it, everyone. If you have enjoyed the interview, you can go ahead and, you know, drop me a like, drop me a sub, anything you could do.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, Epic Gamer. Anything you could do to help would be appreciated. Otherwise, I'll see you next one. take care, and goodbye.